Welcome back to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Darling, and this is Machine Guy Eats. I've been trying to figure out for the longest time, for the last few months, something that will motivate me to come back to YouTube, something that will get me back into the fold of making content again. And honestly, I can honestly think of nothing. Thing is, I just like to talk, and if you've been with me for a minute, you kind of know that I like to talk about all types of issues, things going on in the world, things that I like to do, all of that. It's very hard for me to niche down. And I feel like YouTube has been a very abusive host to a lot of its creators, especially those of us who put a lot of effort into having a variety of content and trying to express ourselves in an honest and earnest way so that we're not just pandering to this crowd or pandering to this crowd or another crowd in order to grow our audience, right? We're sharing a piece of ourselves, we're feeding a piece of ourselves to the machine and to the audience for entertainment purposes because we enjoy it, right? However, sometimes you do want to be rewarded for your actions, and one of the things is that the algorithm here on YouTube does a very poor job of feeding channels like this to other audiences or to other people, whereas apps like TikTok and as such will push you to pushes everybody to all types of different people, gives everybody a chance for them to get their stuff off, to get their talent off. YouTube kind of stagnates that and punishes you for not niching down enough. And that's what kind of demotivates you, if that's even a word, from creating content. But I'm not going to overcomplicate it here on YouTube because I do have an audience here, and I do appreciate the people that have joined me over the last couple years since I started Machine Guy Eats, and for the people that have been with me since way back when I had a channel called The Action Figure here on YouTube. But today I'm going to start off by doing some hauls, right? I'm going to talk about some shit. I'm going to talk about the lady eating the oysters, which I thought was just disgusting. I was supposed to get that out the way right now. If somebody invites you on a date, okay, I don't know if you guys have seen this video of this woman partaking in this oyster eating shit, right? This man invited her out for drinks and she ended up ordering 5 plates of oysters, which I think totaled out to 48 oysters, and she just slurped them down. It was disgusting. But if somebody invites you on a date or you agree to go on a date with somebody, have some fucking decorum. Especially don't be filming a date talking about, why was this nigga disgusted that I'm up here slurping down these oysters? If you're not interested in the dude, fucking just don't go on a date. That way we don't have all these fucking videos of out here people being demonized because, you know, they suck. Y'all just, that woman just sucks as a person. How do you, I don't know, whatever. Also, Jada Pinkett Smith is out here making the rounds again in the news. I'm not gonna talk about that shit too much because honestly, at this point, if Will Smith is okay with it, we should be okay with it. If she wants to be out here embarrassing him, and she wants to be out here with what the general public considers to be embarrassing him by saying they've been separated for this amount of time, she don't know why he slapped Chris Rock. All of this hoopla that goes wrong with Jada Pinkett Smith because she seems like she wants attention every few days. Whatever, I really don't give a fuck. And it's just stuff like that. It's that rat race that platforms like YouTube kind of want you to keep up with. You know, in order for this channel to grow, every other day I have to make content about celebrities or whatever. And honestly, I could care fucking less who Jada Pinkett Smith was fucking. If she still have a crush on Tupac's corpse or whatever the fuck is going on, I do not give a fuck because I mind the business that pays me, and Will and Jada Pinkett Smith do not pay me anything. All right, so today I'm gonna start off by doing a couple hauls. I'm gonna be doing this pretty consistently on this channel too, where I'm just showing off stuff. I'm a collector. I collect things. I have a net. It drags behind me, and I just collect all this bullshit, right? And some of it is toys. I love toys, and as you can see over the last year or so, I've been building up my collection. I've been building up my shelf. I have all of these DC Multiverse toys from Todd McFarlane, and I have a few Marvel Legends that I buy, Masters of the Universe, Transformers. What else I got up there? I got a couple video game toys, Mario, Chun-Li. I know I like my video games. I'm also going to be posting some edits of my live streams, some clips and stuff from my live streams, the more interesting stuff up here. I probably won't post the full live streams on this channel because there's generally not really interest in that here, but if I develop interest for it, I will build that up. This right here, I picked up, well, this actually came in the mail to this, is John Stewart. I actually been looking for this figure for a minute. John Stewart, the Green Lantern, the Black Green Lantern. Actually, they did a very good job with his face. He comes with a Build-A-Figure. That's what you see, this head right there, of somebody called the Frost King. He also has a cape and the two Green Lantern swords. If you don't know what Green Lanterns are almost like, you could think of them as like space police. They guard different sectors of space, and the Green Lanterns are the human Green Lanterns. Obviously, their sector is the Earth sector, and this is one of the Green Lanterns, John Stewart. A lot of people's favorite Green Lantern. My favorite Green Lantern, personally, from just the little bit about Green Lantern that I've read and a little bit about Green Lantern that I've partaken in. John Stewart, what I got, was one of my favorite Green Lanterns on the Justice League cartoon. He was voiced by Phil LaMarr. Super dope. I love, like I said, the face sculpt on this character is really fucking sick, and I like it, so I had to get it. But I went to Target today to get a candle, and I always have to, go through the toy section when I go over there. And I picked up an arch nemesis to the Green Lantern Corps, Sinestro here. Sinestro was once a Green Lantern himself, one of the greatest Green Lanterns, one of the people that trained the Green Lanterns, and he succumbed to fear. And fear is the Yellow Lanterns. He's a Yellow Lantern. He's the Sinestro Corps. At one point, they waged a whole war against the universe, killed all types of Green Lanterns, recruited all types of freaking baddies from across the galaxy. Superboy Prime, which I have a toy of him up there too. The Anti-Monitor. They recruited just some of the worst people that you could possibly think in the DC universe in order to kill off the Green Lanterns. And yeah, I got my Green Lantern collection started today. I just kind of want to show that off. But yeah, so that's that. I'm not gonna unbox them or nothing. I'm just showing them. I am gonna actually open these up. I'm just not gonna do it on camera because who fucking cares? That's just something I picked up at the store today. I'm also wanted to talk about the TikTok shop. If you've been on TikTok for any particular amount of time over the last few months, you've probably noticed that people have become almost, infomercials onto themselves. So people like myself who have an okay following will sit there and we'll hawk merchandise. So let's just say I'm selling this toy. Well, I don't even have to say this watch, for instance. I have these that I'm selling on TikTok right now, right? So I actually bought one originally, and I liked it so much that I actually asked them to send me another one so that I could advertise for them. And they did. They sent me a free one. This is a smart watch. It's actually a really good smart watch. So I liked it. And I was like, all right, advertise for it. But you've probably seen a lot of people on TikTok advertising stuff because you can make a decent amount of money doing so. You can literally make a decent amount of money in a short amount of time by getting commissions on every product that you sell. Opportunities, honestly. And I know it can be annoying for a lot of people to get on TikTok and there's like all these people doing these commercials. I know people be like, oh my God, it's just every night when I get on TikTok, because all you gotta do is swipe, right? And I think that's honestly why the TikTok algorithm, just on the side note, does so much better than YouTube. It's just swiping and swiping. That's why they're able to cycle so many people through the algorithm. That's why so many people get a chance. But also everybody gets to be an advertiser. Everybody gets to have which you have a certain amount of followers, which is not that hard to build followers on TikTok if you're consistently making videos. But you get a little bit of a following, a couple thousand people. You selling stuff on TikTok, and you're making a couple extra $100 a month. And that's what I've been doing. And I think that is really cool. And that's what I'm saying. That's the type of stuff that will motivate you to make content. And as I said originally when I started this video, YouTube doesn't incentivize for you to get on here and be your best self, be your most creative self. I make intros, I make outros, I do all of the edits, I put all of these cuts and stuff with my videos generally. But one of the things that it does is it keeps you stagnant doing that, because that takes time. I get off work, I have to come in here, I film the video, I have to edit the videos live. Sometimes those videos take me a couple hours to edit, even more if I have to do a lot of research on the subject matter that I'm talking about. And YouTube pushes you to nobody, pushes you to the audience. And I appreciate y'all being here, but honestly, for a person that wants to create content, sometimes you do want to reach a broader audience in general when you sit up here creating this content. And you don't want to have to pay off some marketing firm, or you don't want to have to fake the funk with like I say, I want to be earnest and honest with y'all on here. That's why I talk about this back end stuff, because I'm not trying to bullshit y'all or anything like that about growing it. Now, if I got on here and I was just as vapid as I wanted to be, let's say I just got on here and I wanted to bad talk women every day, that's all I did. Or I wanted to, pander to women every day. Either way, right? And that's all I did. That's all I did. That's all I did. That's all I did. That sells. That will grow a channel, but that's not honest to me because it's not always how I feel. I don't always feel that men are completely in the right or women are completely in the wrong or vice versa. I don't always feel like that. I don't always feel like, you know, the left or the right is this or that or this religion or that or any of that stuff. I don't always feel like that. I feel like, you know, everybody that has their beliefs and their thoughts on everything, there's always a gray area. But with that being said, I'm going to end this video by saying one thing where there isn't a gray area, and there's never going to be a fucking gray area with people like me, is with genocide. And I don't give a fuck what you mean, what you say, or how you try to justify bombing hospitals. I don't care how you justify bombing civilian populations where you know that there's a dense population of children. I don't give a fuck what your justification is for it. I don't give a fuck what their parents or what those people did for them. If you want to justify destroying your enemies, you have to be precise in it. Otherwise, you reduce yourself to the same you reduce yourself to a barbarian more so than the people that you're trying to dehumanize. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about what's going on in Palestine right now, what's going on in Israel right now, what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinian people. To me, it's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my 41 years on this fucking planet. I've never seen this level of violence being committed against a civilian population, and then by the same token, you have a lot of our politicians trying to justify why it's happening. They're walking it back now because public perception has come out and said, no, that's not what we want to see, and there's protests all around the country, which a lot of the mainstream news and a lot of the mainstream platforms are downplaying, because you have to understand that a lot of people in our government and a lot of people that run this nation and control the purse strings are in the pockets of Israeli lobbyists, and it has been that way for years. That's why I say, you know, there's this brainwashing that a lot of Americans have had since the 50s and 60s, to where they say they'll support Israel at any cost without ever thinking about why that is. Why do your statesmen get up there and they say that Israel comes first, that even if America was to completely fall, that Israel is still at the top of the list for what the fuck is that about? It's because the people, the lobbyists there, pad their pockets. And for a lot of our politicians, it's more important to back up Israel, even if they're bombing hospitals and they're bombing streets and they're burying children under rubble and all this other stuff, just simply for saying that they were attacked by terrorists. It's the equivalent of what we did on 9/11 to me. We did even worse, because we were supposedly attacked on 9/11 by a certain group of people, but then we went over to a whole nother country and destabilized it, and ultimately killing over 1 million civilians over there. So yeah, it's par for the course for a colonizer culture that likes to impose its will upon brown and indigenous people for the sake of whatever, where they'll sit there and they'll convince the masses through brainwashing and fucking ideological subversion that they're doing it in the name of God, but really what they're doing all this for is in the name of money and evil, and the fucking evil men who want to see evil spread throughout this world. They want to keep everything so like low vibrational and so fucking ugly. Some of the pictures that I've seen coming out of Palestine and some of the stuff that I've seen, I wish that YouTube was still a free platform to where I could share that stuff on here. But if you don't have a Twitter account, and I understand not being on Twitter because Twitter could be a very toxic place, but do yourself a favor and get yourself a Twitter account and keep up with stuff outside your purview. That way you can understand things that is not just being fed through you through the radio, the mainstream media, and platforms like this, where even creators like myself are handcuffed with what we can say and what we can show you, because the platform will keep us buried, you know, as far down under the algorithm as humanly possible. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. And obviously I'm making this video for the people that are already subscribed to this channel, that have already been fucking with me for some time, that have stuck around since I've come out. I'm going to be making these videos on a very consistent basis, probably even more so than I did before, because I'm not going to really be editing. I'm just going to get on here, I'm going to show y'all a couple hauls, maybe talk about some stuff I bought, maybe talk about some stuff I got from TikTok Shop, maybe talk about some stuff that's going on in the world like I did today, and some stuff that's going on with my life and some of the stuff that I believe. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you next time. Bye-bye. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, if this video just came across your algorithm. And if you are subscribed, help me out and go ahead and hit that like button. All right, yeah, bye.